I'm putting on an exhibition about Icarus, but it's not just about Icarus, it's about Neil Armstrong, it's about the whole history of flight from beginning to end. It's like visiting a very complex, I suppose, film set where all the items, all the scenery, all the effects, all the props, and also all the actors are present. So in some strange way, a visitor can look at all this and put together the film of their choice from all the ingredients that we offer them. Classical Greek hero, he and his father, famous artist, inventor, a man called Daedalus, decide to escape from their prison on the island of Crete in the Mediterranean, where they're kept in a labyrinth, which has also got the Minotaur in it, that half-man, half-bull creature. And they plan to escape. The only way they can imagine getting away is by making themselves wings. So Daedalus, as an artist inventor, collects together a whole mass of feathers. He glues them together with wax, and they set off. They have to fly, probably historically, maybe about 500 miles from Crete in the middle of the Mediterranean to a small island, which is now called Icarus after the event. And the story goes that Icarus flew too high because he became very excited with the power of being able to fly. And as he flew higher and higher, the Greeks believed that as you got higher and higher and close to the sun, it got hotter and hotter and hotter. We know, of course, that's ridiculous. The exact opposite happens as you go higher and higher, it gets colder and colder. And we demonstrate that in the exhibition by having large blocks of ice, which the general public are allowed to touch. So anyway, according to the story, he gets so high, the wax melts, the feathers fall apart, and he crashes into the sea. But lots and lots of queries, and as you examine the myth, of course it's a myth, it's meant to represent notions of flying, freedom, escape, but it's also full of other curious factors. So this whole exhibition is basically about a dream that every culture, historically and geographically, all over the world for the last 5,000 years, has had somewhere along the line. Everybody, in some culture, in some degree or other, wants to fly. But we all know it's an impossible dream. So this exhibition really is about an impossible dream. I'm very impressed with this. I think it's very exciting. Yeah. When people come to this exhibition, they will feel, if they don't know the gallery before, that this is somehow permanent.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, strangers will think it's permanent, won't they?
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a pity. The candles look very good. The candles look very good. How each side is presented as a flat area with details. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, I thought we filmed that.
This is almost nice without having a vitrine over the top of it.
Yes.
How did you stick the candles together?
Glue them together.
In Barcelona, we slightly, put a flame along the edge, so it's the actual wax is sticking them together. That's a big job. As long as we can't see.
Sections, actually, so we...
Good. Good. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Have you done any market research? Do you know how many people are going to be there?
I think it will be a lot. We have already there are already bookings for groups, and we feel that there's really a talk in the town. What are they doing?
Good.
And we have held it very much that people don't know anything.
Good.
Only that it will be very
Expensive.
spectacular.
Right.
And very expensive. And they like that.
But tell me about the orientation. Where am I standing in the center of the arch? Here? And it's exactly opposite the door.
This is where you are, is the center.
Okay. Do we know how far it goes out on either side if I'm in the center of the arch?
2 meters on both sides.
Can you stand where 2 meters is?
Right here.
En die opening is like here.
Ja, wij zijn de zuidelijke.
Ja,
So,
de
can
buitenkant
three
is like-
people stand side by side?
Yes,
Can you
yes.
join us? So we're all of us inside the arch still.
Yeah.
Yes. The inside is the same like the windows.
Right. Let's get there right.
Last time, very short. Down in the cafeteria. This is an idea with the where here the section, the names, the title of the section is really sort of minimal. Here it's taken out, and another idea was to completely have a separate page for each section. And here we emphasize the Swedish,
Right.
which is also something we can discuss.
I'm not very happy about this heavy type, so I would throw that one away. So we've left with these two. Somehow or other, I had hoped, since we had a second go at this, that this would be more interesting.
But we want to change it.
I think we need to make it more interesting. I think it's boring, quite frankly. Yes, I think that introduced probably quite well. Excellent. Good.
Like it?
Yes, indeed. I suppose the added extra for us is the fact that it has Swedish captions, yes?
Yeah. Where it explains what...
Okay. So we can get, reproduce this very well. Oh, there's some good stuff here. In fact, we can make considerable collages of this. Good. We phoned Mariana this morning, did we?
Yeah.
And she's all right?
Yeah.
Did she stay up all night working, do you know?
I don't know.
Let's just put another one in here. I hope she wasn't too upset by me being so
I think
so aggressive yesterday. I was just so, I don't know, somehow disappointed because I thought it was a huge opportunity to have been more adventurous. And it seemed to be an opportunity that was not taken. Was born in there? Good. So I think we'll start with those.
No,
Whilst we're waiting
just-
for Leonard, can I wander around? Okay, I'm sorry, I'd like to take these three, please.
Yes.
And will you accept a plastic card? Because I have no local cash.
But I have cash, so I can pay for it.
But this is private, this has nothing to do with our project.
Are they expensive?
Yes.
Because
Here, let me give you can you take one of these?
Yeah, yes, that's the MasterCard. 200.
We need to probably not to have the whole photograph, but I need this and this. So we need to format where we could lose this and this and a bit of the ground. So imagine that this is the background here, and this is set in here like this. Yes?
Yeah,
So this double space will be like, all the people involved with Swedish flight.
Yeah, then you maybe could put that number on.
All right, but that's too high up because I want to shift all this down. Okay,
that you have to do.
good. We have number 3.
Are you interested in this one?
Yes, but I think I can use that in a minute. Yeah, hang on to that, that's good.
Swedish king and the prince.
I wouldn't know that, but that
No.
makes it more interesting still. There was a man here breaking an egg.
Yeah.
Where's he gone? What should we call this? Man breaking egg?
Yep.
Let's lose his head. Lose head. And then, if the man is here, and the business is here, do we have this?
Yes.
What do we call this? We call this later. Put this in the middle here. So,
When got the same?
Yes, well the same.
Yeah.
In color. You want to have it in color or black and white?
that's Leonardo, isn't it? So, Vinci. You have it in color?
Yeah.
I'd like to put that egg in somewhere. You have the egg book? Yes. Could we be expansive and just have this little image here, maybe with that, all on a page on its own, and find another page and then start the new idea again? How do we indicate that to you? So we say page 60, egg. We put the shell in the egg. That would be fantastic, because we have this in the exhibition, all these hanging eggs, and it was borrowed from that, it's a direct quote. If you felt that was too boring, we could make a combination with these things. No, but I like it just by itself, so just make it by itself.
And this picture here, this one,
Yes.
Vera was saying that it's
Yes, it
the opposite.
It's
At
running.
the opposite side.
Is it?
It should be at the opposite side. Maybe you did it in purpose, like
I
that.
don't remember. I think she's wrong.
Yeah.
I think she's
We
wrong.
received the original from the tape.
That's not always reliable.
Well, the text says Draper.
Well, my eye makes compositionally much more satisfactory in the way that you got it in the book, because the eye is leading in positively. You know how to read positively an image, basically because we read left to right. Heroes and goodness comes from the left,
Yes.
and evil and uncomfortable comes from the right. And I think we lead into the body here in a very much a left-right axis.
Yes.
I have a feeling that the way we've got it is correct.
The painting is influenced.
I would disagree with anybody until I went to actually see physically the painting myself, and then I would...
Because we received a reproduction with the frame, and on the frame it says Hans Draper, so it can't be wrong.
Well, Vera wanted us to be different. Here's an opportunity to be different. Well, there seems to be a problem here because they're not going to hang in a grid. Yeah, well, that's as an incidental experiment. I'm glad we did that because it has to be a grid.
So I think if this is the speed we're going to use, we're going to ask for glass.
Okay. We'll take the decision after having shown it to Peter.
Yeah. But if you can go faster, it must be not like 20%. It must be like 150%, 200%. Otherwise, there's no difference.
Yeah.
Okay, well, having gone through it, two big things occurred to me. One is there is too much text, and the second is I think the text ought to be organized in a better way. But you are running out of time.
Yes.
You said, already we're late.
Yeah.
But if we fool around any more, you're going to get later and later. But my feeling is this is a catalogue for all time, and it ought to be interesting. Okay, what is the program? Oh, that's good. That's nice. The placement is rather curious, isn't it, with the legs like that?
Yes.
Was that always intended to be like that?
Yes.
And then Brodie will write on this wall.
Yes.
And that wall? Is he also going to write on the back of the glass as well?
Yes.
And what is this for?
This is for to sell catalogs.
Right. Good morning. How are you? I understand you're a very worried lady.
Have I been worried?
You are a very worried lady. Is that true?
I'm always worried. Hi. Hi.
This is the plan, is it? No, that's option one.
Yeah.
Do you have this one here?
Yeah.
I can see that I have made a bad mistake because I thought this was part of option 2. And I began to get very fond of this idea, looking at it and looking at it last night. I mean, what I also like this, it looks as though you're a small child under the floor looking up at an architect's drawing table.
That's the allegory. And I told you just
Which is nice.
Of Daedalus being his father, being stability.
The great inventor.
Yeah.
Who's always working at the drawing board.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you have introduced yet a number 4 element here, which I think is very good.
I noticed it. I told also Rainier it's the possible allegory, being.
So this
being
becomes
both
the drawing board now, the drawing board for all these inventions that exist in this museum, which is a very nice metaphor.
Yeah.
if we could get all these 4 items in. Well, this is self-evident now, I think, from that, the drawing board phenomenon, to find some way to introduce a tribune, even though it only might be 10 people. Can't read my writing there at all. But firstly, the frames that I did, I can't remember. The launching pad. If you could, so those 4 things, so the frame, the launching pad, the tribune, and also keep the idea of Daedalus's drawing board. Okay, well, the way this conversation is going, first of all, I mean, we've met for the first time, though I did see these drawings yesterday. Yeah. I still have some problems with this, as we manifest, but after our initial discussion, then it's back to you again. Yeah. Now, the situation should really come back to us, but is it profitable for us to continue to work on this if you feel dubious about time and you feel dubious about money?
No, I mean, we have only 2 options. On Monday morning, I can say yes or no about the time, because the time is really the essential thing. You can always say, okay, we just do it because this is such an important part of the experience. I have to take the risk money-wise, but can we do it time-wise? And when I know it on Monday morning that they can't do it by Wednesday, if we say now, we talk about Wednesday, then I know exactly where I stand. Then I give you yes or no. But then I have to know exactly today how this is going to be.
I mean, the actual logistics people who are going to make this, they don't even know about this yet. Is that right? Because he only has to arrive this morning.
They know about it because he was here this morning, but he has to meet people, he has to calculate how much time this takes. Because it's a lot of sort of, you have to cut the steel and you have to...
I mean, I've done 25 exhibitions now, and every single time the publicity is fixed on that first night, and you can never regain it ever again.
The first night is Friday. That's what we...
So I think, if we're going to have an exhibition that really works, we need to have something ready by that time. Well, I think you're going to have to make a guarantee that it either is finished or we forget the whole thing. Putting on an exhibition about Icarus, but it's not just about Icarus, it's about Neil Armstrong, it's about the whole history of flight from beginning to end. But I'm a filmmaker, so I want to somehow treat the whole exhibition as though it was a film as well as an exhibition, so an installation film. But specifically what I want to do and why you're here, I want to consider the position of Icarus himself. Some painters like Correggio portray him as a 4-year-old boy, but a lot of the English 19th century painters who were fascinated by this imagery painted him as a mature young man. Some of them, I suppose, even as old as 28. So the age, the range of ages could conceivably start at 4 and finish at 28. I understand in Sweden here, I cannot employ actors, extras, to sit all day long in cages in an exhibition under than 18, so you must already, all of you, be over 18. So that's the background, that's the circumstance. I know because I've sat in vitrines like this. Let me reiterate again, it's very boring. These are the vitrines that you'll be sitting in. Look, they are quite roomy, and you can see at the back, there's an entranceway, and you'll be high off the ground, and you will sit on here, so there'll be lights underneath, and there'll also be lights on the top. And these lights are all computerized, and so there'll be continual movement of flickering lights. Sometimes the lights will be blue to imagine you come down in salt water. Sometimes they'll be green to make an association with fresh water. Sometimes the sun will be really shining down on you as though you were flying at 40,000 feet. Sometimes there'll be shadows flickering over you as though you're flying in a flock of birds. There'll be 5 soundtracks in the whole space here. There's a particular soundtrack, electronic soundtrack, which is relative to you in terms of flying, notions of the wind, bird cries, very high, distant sound of the sea. Maybe you fly through a thunderstorm, so all this will be relative. So you'll be situated, not isolated, but relative to a context which is constantly talking about flying and water and birds. You can see these feathers hanging off the ceiling here, eggs relative to birds. If you come over here, we've dug 3 huge pits in the floor. Nobody actually performs in those baths, but they're all computer organized, so the hot water turns on, steam comes out. It's as though Icarus was washing himself before he finally took off. At the back here, we have exactly 100, what we call them the winds. Each one of these fans will be blowing in a different direction to indicate the winds that Icarus probably met on his 500-mile journey from Crete to Icarus. Over there, we talk about wax. The story goes on about how the wings were put together with wax, all the different particular ways you can use wax. There's lots of text here from Swedish literature, Strindberg, all the mentions of birds and flying, etc. And all sorts of other exhibits which all talk. You can see these huge propellers. Imagine that if Daedalus didn't invent wings, he'd invented a propeller. So we have these huge whirring propellers that go so fast the whole thing shakes. So it'll be nice and dangerous. You feel that maybe the propeller will smash the glass and run away into the audience. We have a big arch of feathers to introduce people to come in, and we are hoping to build outside in that space a huge viewing frame where there will be seats to watch for the final return of Icarus, because I'm going to pretend he never fell into the sea. He's still flying around there, up somewhere, and one evening here in Malmö, he'll fly down back through the frame, and we can welcome him back again. There are seats for people waiting for Icarus to come back. So you see a sense of humor, a sense of irony about the whole thing as well. But I want to, though I don't take myself too seriously, I want to be certain that we take the exhibition very seriously indeed. So again, let me repeat, these 5 latrines, which I think will be put in a line across here, all frontal, all facing one way. You'll all be facing this direction. The visitors will come in from that area, so they'll see you very rapidly. The sense of seriousness, that seriously you are prepared to audition for a potential film about flying, which is centered around Icarus. So, that's the basis. Now you've seen the site. Any more questions? What I was thinking here is that we have our Latin text on that wall, we have a Swedish text on this wall, and we have the English on here. But I don't think we should take it any further than that bookcase. The bookcase, that's fixed now, is it? Absolutely fixed.
Yeah.
So I think we should contain the English text in this space. And I wonder if with your help we can sort of measure what that space would be. So I need to leave a little bit of gap, a margin here. And I think it ought to be seen across the top of the desk, because if it's down there, it gets... So we need to decide what this distance would be. So we want to try and give Brody then an idea of what these surface areas are so he can work out his aspect ratio, because you can see what his problem is going to be. He doesn't want to cut a word in half. No. That's a bit low, isn't it?
30.
What about 30 then?
Yeah, and 30 from the top too.
And maybe 30 from the edges, so it's 30 all round. That makes it much more boxy, much more of a square, much more rectangular. Why don't we suggest these things to him, because he's got an eye for it.
Yes.
Look at this and these. This is one coating on each side.
Yes.
And this is waterproof.
Good. So you would recommend that we have this special laminated coating in order to keep it crisp for 4.5 months?
Yeah.
Okay. What worries me a bit, it's very shiny, and therefore that negates the feel of newspaper. So it'd be very good to see if it's possible to put this in water now. Do you have a container to put this in water now? Okay. Vertically?
Yeah. Only one side has been treated.
No, I think it's an excellent solution.
Thank you.
Merci
Thank
bien. Thank you. Excellent. That's going to look good. In some peculiar way, it somehow intensifies the text. Or
this is because of...
Oh, it's because of this, like a magnifying glass, slightly. Because it's very black, isn't it? Yes. And you can easily read it, because I think that's always the criterion. We must make sure that people can read it. Great. Beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
Is that, which ones can you? That's not going to hold water, is it? But this is probably the right one, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it probably is. It'd be very nice to hang a whole page like that. So, I mean, can we cut the page here? Can you first of all iron it so it's absolutely flat?
Yes.
Can you make it flat? What does that say?
It's the same news.
Okay.
5 died in accident.
Okay, well, look, here's certainly one. That's certainly one. We
Okay.
need 4. Is that important?
That's the newspaper.
We can only got space for 40 centimeters. That's 40 centimeters. Look, if I cut the top off, if I cut that off, is that stupid? Can you understand that that is a newspaper heading?
Probably.
Okay, there's 3 then. And then we have a completely different problem. We put books in the other underwater.
Yes.
Do you have to coat the books in your pen? Do you have to coat the books in the same way?
They will probably dissolve in time.
But I mean, you should. What are the books that we can use? They're all on the end there. What about this? Can I have that page also in there? Can you impregnate that one? It should be open at that page. This is about all the waterways of Malmö, isn't it?
Yes.
So any page. That page?
Yes.
You have a choice here. If the experiment doesn't work, can we take everything out and just use that page?
Yes.
So Eric, what do you think? Have I made impossible demands? Again?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
At least we can have a try, and I think it's quite good chance we will succeed.
Great. So I think he's on the right road here, but again, most of the presentation should be from this angle, whereas it seems to come from that angle, this side. We don't see much of these, unfortunately, either.
No.
Maybe he can spread those out wider so they cover the bottom. I mean, if he uses this as the basis, and when I come again, you won't seal the thing down. We can take it off again and make adjustments?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. What about the ozone level?
Well, it's ozone friendly.
This is the case it's going to be in, is it?
Yes.
Okay. What will you do about, you can clean the glass,
Yes.
can you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I want to try and make it look beautiful, you know, so it shouldn't feel inelegant. Can you put that, twist that round again?
It looks better like that.
Yeah, leave it like that. What about the head? Can you bring the head back a bit? So, yeah. How are you doing? Everything all right?
Yes, it's a lot of work still to be done. It is well in control in the way that we know exactly what there is to do. Only today we ran into some problems where lights that worked yesterday didn't do it anymore because water was coming in. Now we get everything underwater, and that's where we are facing a lot of things. Well, put more silicon on it. It's a leakage here, a leakage there, but it's no significant problem. So everything is
Everything is going to be ready for Wednesday?
yes, sir.
When do you go back? You go back
Saturday.
Okay.
So it'll be all the way. So even if after Wednesday, if you want to make some changes, if you say, well, I like it, I don't like the color, whatever.
Can we take your things and leave them? When
Yeah.
we go down to meet Brody and
Where are we going?
we're going to the entrance with Brody and
Okay. Okay, well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Brody, hi. I'm all right. How are you doing?
That was nice.
Very well.
Good, yes.
Yeah.
A good reception.
Good reception.
My friend Carlo did get in.
He did?
Yes.
Did he like it?
He did. He wasn't sure the translator could follow you very well. Did you get the sense that...
Well, I wasn't listening to what they were saying, but I presumed on trust. How
And the
about you
five
here?
screen... Oh, well, that's for you to say. That's Sternberg. And more or less, I think, gets the character of his style.
You know those arguments or those discussions we always have about fluidity versus readability?
Yes, yes.
I mean, Bera, you understand this Swedish very well. You can really...
It's a very good translation.
Yeah? But I mean, you can read the calligraphy too very easily. can
Yeah,
you?
very simple.
Would you worry that this
It's
might not be
more-
original?
No, I just wonder whether you could have
No.
been, retrospectively, a little more...
Oh, I could have, but then it wouldn't have been Sternberg anymore.
All right.
No, but it's very easy to read. I find.
The other side is fluid.
That's much more.
And in between is Stern.
Hey, how long did it take you to do this?
It began yesterday.
Yesterday at 3 and finished at 8:30.
I love the way it gets dry with these drags.
Yeah.
It becomes an adventure, doesn't it? Like a map.
Well,
So
I
you
tried to
always
make
know.
each letter a painting in this case, because each one really is built up of a number of strokes. Each one is a kind of painted object in itself.
They are very tall Swedish people. I'm sure they can see.
Are you sure that we can't take them out of the box?
Yes.
Just the top layer.
Well, they were we were not allowed to take even one neck out.
Where have they come from?
They come from the Zoological Museum in Lund, and it's all marked each. So we got.
Are you absolutely certain that I can't talk to somebody so that they could just put them on the cotton wool at the top here? Otherwise, it's just a collection of boxes.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah. Tuck that piece of paper down, hide that broken egg there. Those little tiny details which are going to mean so much.
Yeah. But
Can we do that sometime?
Yeah, I think we do. We finish this now.
Yeah.
We finish the major text, and then we do all
Then we
this.
can fidget
all
afterwards.
this.
Okay.
I have to go over all the exhibition to fit sort of with details about everything.
have you sitting in here first, please? If you would just sit, the general idea is, you know, you sit here, make yourself comfortable, and just look in that direction. Okay. It might be interesting if we actually put a number around their neck. You know, you know, Australian Olympics about to happen, and often they have a number.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we could get maybe a stencil, which is similar to this.
Yes.
And just simply make it black on white, a piece of square card with a ribbon around it.
Yeah.
And if we do, there are 5 of them, so always make 1 to 5. And if you make duplicates, then sometimes we put them on, sometimes we don't.
Okay.
Just one idea.
Okay.
But he's good. Okay, so he can stand down. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to change places with somebody else? That's good. How do you feel in there? Was that all right?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, that's only 2 minutes. You're there for about 3 hours. Would you like to sit in? Okay.
Ska vi byta kläder?
That's good. Just a little touch. Maybe you could have a carnation here. You know, a little flower in his buttonhole. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. How's that feel? All right? Okay. Okay, could we have you, please?
Nej, lika.
It's good, I think, that we don't have any arms, so that you can see.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. There's one thing, Bera, it is very frontal. I mean, it's interesting from the back, but it's obviously much more interesting from the front. In a strange way, that all this clothing is of all time, isn't it? Whereas this is very much to do with the 80s and the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he could look like that around about 1870.
Yeah.
And these guys, well, could look like that from the First World War.
Yeah.
And this doesn't, you know, this is all time.
Yeah.
And this is
It's just that this is a bit
Yeah.
of our
I
time.
had a bit of trouble finding anything.
Right.
At all.
So I think so far this is probably the least effective because
Okay.
it's so time specific.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so maybe we should think again on that one.
Keep it in...
Okay, many thanks.
Bara ha som reserv.
Would you like to come and sit in?
Men de är väldigt fina, de är så olika.
Ja.
And again, good. I mean, you know, he could have come off a Greek beach in 2000 BC, so that's good.
It could go from whatever.
They make very nice, you know, when you get that up against that.
Yes.
Good.
And
Many
then
thanks.
you can have one in white underwear.
Okay, and some people are prepared to be naked too, are they,
Yeah.
occasionally?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, if we could think again about those numbers, it's not very important, but it's quite nice as another detail.
Yeah.
Like candidate 1, candidate 2, candidate 3, candidate 4.
He will be dying there.
If we want to try and hide your identity, sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, can you do the strap up and pull the goggles down?
Yeah. Maybe I didn't have
Yes. Good. And can you pull the goggles down?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Any of you guys got any questions?
Yeah, it's fine. Is it just for decoration?
You see there's these lights up here,
Yeah.
which are meant to reproduce a sensation of rippling. It breaks the shadow.
Oh, I see.
But it also looks as though it's a busy, busy machine, so it gives some idea that maybe the whole thing takes off. It doesn't. It's decorative.
But that's really the only decorative thing where you have something like this.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised because I mean sometimes you're in complete darkness and you can't see you at all, and suddenly we will, you know, have a lightning flash and you'll be just lit up like in a discotheque, I suppose. But then we will have different effects that pretend you're in deep water, shallow water, fresh water. There are fish around you, all sorts of ideas which are associated both with flying and drowning. You know, you are there as a candidate to be looked at, so people can judge whether you're good as Icarus. I mean, I have to apologize to you, it's very boring.
No, it's okay.
But I think you'll find it fascinating because, you know, people will come up and they'll peer at you and it'll be curious for you to watch them, especially for them to watch you. I mean, if things get bad, you know, if you get sexually propositioned, or somebody invites you out to lunch, or somebody gets violent with you, or aggressive, there are going to be two guys wandering around here, these two guys, and you've got to tap on the glass to attract their attention, whatever. But I've done this sort of thing before, and there's never really any aggression. People are very, very curious. I mean, you know, I would be curious. You know, what the hell are you doing sitting in this case? They'll ask you questions like that. And if one or two of you volunteer to be completely naked as well, that adds something as well. Great. Many thanks. Okay, thank you.
See this is the curve of the slope, so it's going to be that direction.
Okay, we turn it.
Is it out of the question to just use flying, since that's the major part of the exhibition,
higher
across all of them, and keep over water as it is? Or you
Say
think
what again? I don't understand.
So the flying could take up the whole space, and over water just take up the lower space? Or is that going to
Well,
look
what if I
uncomfortable?
try actually making the F and the L go up? I also wondered about painting the ascenders onto the ground here.
Yeah,
But,
three problems there: permission, water, and vandalism.
Yes. Cutting them out of steel and bolting them to the ground.
Well, what do you think then about using ascenders and descenders?
Let me try
all
the F
across,
and the L.
But keep the over water.
Do you mean so raising this whole word up?
Just that word alone has all
Yeah.
the space it wants, and these are contained.
Okay.
Is that, I mean, that doesn't
Well,
sound
let's see
good
if
on paper, does it? What about trying to use the whole space and see how that works out then by using a capital letter F too?
Okay, well let me raise the G up first, since it's isolated in its own panel. I'll raise it up to just below the top of that window, give it a tail, because we might find, if you don't change scale, when you move on to that, it might be a bit odd.
True.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is it lifted up?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
let
do you
me
want
move
to
the
continue
G
to
up.
think?
I mean, there's still time to
cogitate?
write it all higher. Move it all up. Now, it's taken me a while just to find a style that looks all right, and I think this
I think you found it with over
style
water.
is okay. Yeah.
like the Queen as they come in.
Well, what do you think? What do you want?
I don't know what you want to do. What's your
I think we should sort of nicely, sort of slowly open the doors.